Hi everyone, it's Monica here. Just wanted to say a little hi. It's been some tough times, and but at the same time, there are a lot of breakthroughs, so many good things, so many good people moving along. And I had an attack on me when I was in Ireland. I won't go too deep into it, but I'm recovering, and because I don't want to give it too much attention, but still kind of on the mend from that. Those who know, you know, and just in that place where I'm feeling deeper and deeper what is really, really important in my life, and that all of us stepping into sovereignty, stepping into knowing that if we follow our light and our heart and knowing what is right and wrong in our hearts in every step, that's where we need to be, that's the steps that we need to take. And this conviction just grows stronger and stronger in me, and at the same time I see all this chaos in the world, you know, with Israel and Palestine, and like the mainstream media going wild, this and that. Like, for me, when I look at it, it's just like, when are we going to stop this? When are we going to let these small men and women that have these big suits, when are we going to tell them enough? Like, enough of provoking, enough of false flags, enough of like, there are people making huge amounts of money on war, on chaos, on people suffering, being hurt. And what I see happening here is the seed of all of this. If we look to the root of what's going on here, it's when we divide ourselves into Jews, Arabs, right wing, left wing, this and that. I don't care. I don't care how you label yourself. If we can step out of that and see what are the actions you take. As men and women standing on the earth, what are the actions you are taking? Are you acting in honor? Are you doing harm, or are you not doing harm? That's how simple it can be. And until we remember that, I answer to God in my heart. For first and foremost, whatever happens, I will act in honor, do no harm. That's where the peace begins. That's where, if you get an order to hurt a woman, a child, a brother and sister, when you say no to that. Even though the circumstances, I know you can be in circumstances where all this aggression, all this is kind of propagated to you, where everyone else is acting dishonorably, and there you have to be stronger than ever. You have to say no to anything that harms your brother and sister. And this talk of self-defense is, in my, of course, if someone attacks you and your family, you can defend yourself. Self-defense is not attacking innocent children and women. That's not self-defense, guys, at all. From whatever side you're on, I don't care what label you have, there's no honor in that. That's just dishonorable. It's just wrong. And we know that. If we don't start to trust deep within ourselves what is really right and wrong, and stop the cycle of revenge and hate and this and that, and we're on the different sides. If we don't start to see each other as men and women walking on the earth, and the actions we take define us, then we're never going to end this. And you might think, well, oh, what can this little woman from Sweden do? Well, I can start to do it myself, no matter what happens. And so can you. And when fear comes into the picture, it's so easy to adjust your way of life, adjust the way that you do things or you live your life. And of course, I've been attacked several times in different ways. Of course, there's a good fear trying to, be smart to keep us alive. So I'm not talking about that fear. Fear can be really good. It can keep you alive, right? But the fear of each other, the fear of everyone that is this and that, everyone that speaks has a different opinion than the state norm or the norm from the mainstream media, is a tinfoil hat, they're right-wing conspiracy theorists, they're this and that. When we start to label each other and stop listening to each other and having real debates, having real meetings between men and women, that is the seed of war. And that's how I see they're trying to push me into that, and many other people that just have their own view, very peacefully, very rightfully, very clearly, just stating that we are free men and women, we know what is right and wrong, we act in peace and honor, and we just stand up for these very fundamental rights and freedoms. Then that is just the right thing to do. It's just peace. It's just honor. And if you're afraid of that, if you create fear against anyone that steps out of the box, does something differently, and this is both like in my business, in my views, in all of that, I might not be within the box, and I'm proud of that. Because that is the right. I respect everyone's right to have their view, to have their opinion. I might not agree with you, but I respect it and I value that, because in all my studies of democracy, of human ecology, of different ways of living, different civilizations, how they rise and fall, one of the fundamental values that we need to have is that we need to have the law within us. We need to know what is right and wrong. The laws need to be made by men and women. That's when it will also be followed by men and women. That is the democracy, the real law. When corruption steps in, when people in power act against the people, do not respect men and women, do not respect the views of what really needs to happen and what needs to be done for us to have a peaceful, thriving society. At least in Sweden, that's the case right now. There is a lot of chaos in Sweden right now. I don't recognize my country. And when you stop listening to the people, when you go right against the people even, that's what happens. There is a disconnect between the grassroots and some people that are becoming corrupt in powerful places. And if you are in those powerful places and listening to this, you might want to think again what I'm saying. Have you listened to the police officers, to the teachers, to the people within, on the ground, in the hospitals, and so on? If you would have listened earlier, do you think it would be like this now? I don't think so. When the political correct norms come before the needs of the people, then you need to think twice and you need to think about who you are really serving. And this is for everyone. Who are you serving in your life? Why are you doing what you're doing? And how can you just reclaim that sovereignty and make sure that whatever happens, at least you know that you act in honor, that you follow love, follow that God spark within your heart, whatever happens. It's not easy. It's not an easy path. And it's not like to be important or to like have to be someone, or that's what gets thrown at me sometimes, you know. It's because I do feel I have a purpose here, and I believe that you have too. And when we step into that purpose, when we break through the box, when we break through the norms, when we pave our own path, create our own future, and we act in honor, do no harm, that deeper contentment, that realness, that sense of purpose is very, very clear. And once you've stepped into that, it can't be undone. Like, you can't unsee things once you've seen it. It's just not possible, right? So whatever I can do to support you, to fill your part, to do your soul's purpose, I will do that. And whenever I see dishonorability and someone hurting others, I will work against that. And I think everyone has the obligation to do so, because that is also democracy for me. In the ancient Greek democracy, everyone knew the law and everyone upheld it. It was the same also in Ireland, in the Brehon law. If you see something that is hurting, that is bad, you do something about it. If you see somebody doing good, then support that. Don't try to bring it down, or, you know, blame someone, or compare yourself. Don't do that. Like, let's grow up together. And really, there are lots of people out there being attacked right now, just like me, being brought down. And it's been tough years, and we need all of you right now. Like, we all need each other more than ever. So I'm really asking you, everyone out there, to look into your heart and see what you can do to step into your purpose here, and just without compromise say no to the things that are not serving you any longer. And I'm really, really happy to support you on that path in whatever way I can. And right now I will take care of myself first, and also the amazing people I'm working with in multiple areas, both for the world, for bringing good water to people, to empower people out there, and also building the new earth, building what I want to see in the world, and all that positive is what I will focus my attention on. So that's a little hello for me in the forest of Sweden. And sending you lots of love, and really make sure to follow that spark within your heart, and whatever you do. And I'm with you. Bye bye.